Hey guys. So this is a video about Aquarius season, but we're going to talk about Mercury retrograde for 1 second. Remember, Mercury retrograde is communication breakdowns and problems with communication and communication devices. So if you're having trouble with technology or getting the right message across to somebody, something like that, remember to take a breath. I say that because this is the second time I've tried to make this video for you guys. Got very frustrated this morning because she is no longer with us. That video was deleted on accident. So, gotta laugh about it because Mercury retrograde. So I have the cards in front of me that I pulled today because that energy's still there. The message is here for us all as the collective. And I think it would be silly to do a whole nother spread just to pull them here. So they've been pulled, energy's there. I'm gonna walk through them all with you guys like I normally do. But it's just such a strong message. But so just remember, Mercury retrograde, laugh through it. You know, we can get so frustrated, but it's not worth it. So Aquarius season, let's talk about what that is. Aquarius is a air sign. It's a masculine fixed sign, which means it's just assertive, it's linear, it's forward thinking, it sees ahead, and it, you know, makes a plan and takes it. But it's also an air sign, so it's the lighter version of that, I guess. Like it's this elusive, light, airy being, energy, you know, it's that embodiment of Aquarius. And there is communication communication as well, and conversation. So that's good to have on this side of Mercury retrograde. My thoughts run away from me. Hey, you know, tis the season. But we're here, we're doing it. This energy does represent change. It's the personal freedoms, breaking tradition, can be perceived as erratic and unstable, but the duality and balance and everything, right? So there's a steadfastness in this energy to commit, unlike any other. There's a good positive. So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. That'll be your guiding force this month. And Uranus is inspiring you to look outside the box and think outside, look outside the box. Find new ways to look at things, change, transition. That energy is with us. Uranus was retrograde for 5 months up until yesterday, the 18th. If you're watching this on the 19th. And that energy had us feeling stagnant, essentially, possibly spinning your heels, restless. So now that Uranus is out of retrograde, we're forging ahead, and so it can feel like this rush of I gotta go. Just remember, Mercury's retrograde now, so there's all those balances, right? Take the time you need to, but keep taking those steps forward. That's the energy. Uranus is a planet of awakening, so it can shake things up, like we just said, bringing unexpected events. But if unexpected events come up, they're steering you in the right direction. The wind agrees. So hold on and don't slam the door, right? If the door is opening, it's there for you to walk through. Keep walking through the doors until they shut. That's my advice. That's how you take on life. If you're looking for a door to open and it does, seize that opportunity. A lot of the times we look for doors to open, and then when they do, we get scared and we're like, wait, I don't know if I'm ready. You've been asking for the door to open and it did, walk through it. It will shut. The next one, it's like, I don't know, like a bunch of doors, however you want to perceive it. Keep walking through the doors until they shut. If a door shuts, find another door, right? Go through a window. There's another way to go about that journey, situation, whatever. And that's why that door is closed, right? So doors are opening. Don't slam the door. If the door closes on you, the universe closes the door, take that message. Step away from beliefs that don't align with your soul and your greatest good, your highest essence. Embody your truth, right? We're done existing for other people. We're done existing because we're told to exist a certain way, or because society says, right? We're embracing those things that are for our highest good and that serve us and that fill us up and that give us that energy and pour into us so that we can pour back, right? That's what we're doing. We're done just settling. We're done doing things for everyone else and not for ourselves, right? If you don't fill up your cup, you can't pour into other cups. You gotta fill up your cup. Things you're telling other people to do for yourself. Rest, hydrate, rest, meditate, take time to be with yourself and integrate and move forward. We're moving forward. There's been a lot of hurry up and wait energy. Last year specifically, there was a lot of that. Like something's coming, just keep resting. Essentially, it was a lot of rest and integrate and be with the energies around you. And now we're taking that and we're moving forward. That's what this energy is. Mercury retrograde is also in Aquarius. It's going to bounce between Aquarius and Capricorn a couple times. Retrograde and then direct. So there's a lot of that. Breaking down what doesn't serve you and building up what does. But now's a good time to build community in your life too, by networking and sharing. A lot of times we like to do it ourselves. And while we can't always have someone help us solve our problems, like to do it, we have to do the work. It's good to have a community around you and support as you work through those things, right? Essentially, we do the work ourselves, but we're lifted up by those around us. And getting to know others can help you get to know yourself on a deeper level. So this is a highly supportive time to take steps to strengthen community around you, build whatever little group feels right, but support yourself with people. It could be one person, it could be a few people, but do the thing, support yourself. So the 19th today, or if you're watching this after, it's in the past, but you're here now. The energy is here, and that's what matters. On the 24th, Mars enters Capricorn, and Mars represents self-defense and action. It's a fiery energy, and it represents how you advocate for yourself, right? So we're talking about the energy already for Aquarius season is to speak your truth and embrace those things that serve you and build you up. And that's what Mars and Capricorn is saying as well. It's asking you to evaluate how you act on your own behalf, right? Have that passion, that drive, that adventure, that headstrongness, right? You don't want to swing the other way and become violent or accident prone or just do things because you're like, I'm forging ahead. There's balance and everything. This energy charges forward, but it has more direction. So that Capricorn is a builder energy. So all these things are forward thinking. So far, we're forward thinking. We're looking to the future. We're building. What's up? So Mercury retrograde is going into Cancer. Sorry, it's Cancer in Aquarius, but it's Aquarius. And that is on the 25th. And the retrograde started on the 14th in Aquarius, and it's going to transit into Cancer. So it's going to be in Aquarius when the sun goes into Aquarius for a little while. So there's a lot of that Aquarius energy there. This Cancer energy is tearing down what no longer serves to stabilize what is working. And that's that Aquarius side, to stabilize it. It's going from tearing down the Aquarius to building up the Cancer, to find that balance and to find what works. So this is going to be the most transformative retrograde of the year. If you're interested in more about that, check out the video about retrograde, the Mercury retrograde. Tell you all about it. So in the 29th, Venus is going to station direct. And Venus reflects how we relate to others and ourselves. It rules romance, it rules relationship. And it only goes retrograde once every 2 years, only for 6 weeks. So it makes this backward spin an important cycle for us to pay attention to. During this retrograde, Venus's energy asks you to find balance between the energy you give yourself and the energy you give to others, and balance between friendships and romance. So you're coming back to unconditional love towards yourself and others. It was about self-reflection and reassessing values and priorities, and then having an opportunity to set into action everything you've learned over the retrograde period, specifically in terms to relationships and relating to yourself and to others. If any events during this retrograde were confusing, didn't make sense to you, this is a time where you'll find clarity and you'll take conscious action to build new connections while, again, sharing your truth and speaking up. There's a theme here. Conscious connections, speaking your truth, sharing your journey, and being honest with yourself and giving to yourself. So there's a big theme here for that. February 1st, we have a new moon in Aquarius, and that moon is asking you to consider your spiritual life. What traditions have you been interested in exploring? Are there any that you've kind of let fall to the wayside? Life's been hectic. Sometimes we let things lapse, and maybe it's time to bring some of those things back and implement them. Even if it's just meditating for 5 minutes a day, right? It doesn't have to be something from a religion. It can be something from a religion. However you do spirituality and however it feels important to you to connect with that energy and that essence, that's what's important. So look for ways to connect with yourself, to connect with that higher power and that higher being. And then allow this period to pull you out of a rut if you're in one, and spotlight your uniqueness. You know, you have a lot to offer, and personal freedom is really important right now, and that is another theme that is flowing through with Aquarius season. It's a new moon in Aquarius, so there's a lot of that there. This sign, again, it's ruled by Uranus, so beware of your intentions. Don't push back just cause, you know, it's okay to rebel and to ask questions and to give a little pushback, but make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. More on that in the full moon video that will come up when it gets closer. And by full moon, I mean new moon. Both, all of them. So Mercury is going to station direct in Capricorn on February 3rd. It isn't Capricorn. I don't know why I thought I went to Capricorn and not Cancer, but we got it all. Aquarius, Cancer, Aquarius, Capricorn, The transit will help you feel grounded and energized. It encourages you to challenge yourself by asking where you want to spend your energy. If you're feeling impatient, practice gratitude regularly for the small things too. And that can help you stave off those shadow aspects of the need to get things done energy. Enjoy the journey, savor these experiences. The cool thing is, you know, I see this carrying through. I know the read already. We'll get there, but this theme carries through there too, is gratitude and being grateful for the little things and just relishing the now moment and everything you have created. So don't forget that. That's a great thing. Mercury enters Aquarius on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Again, we're back into this Aquarius energy with Mercury, who rules communication. It will be direct. So this is a great time to help you look at life from a fresh perspective and help with future planning. There's more future planning going on. So we've been spending a lot of time really focused right now. And it's always important to be in the now, but now we have a chance with clarity to look forward, to look ahead, and to see what's next, to see what we're building, to see what's coming. Before, it was really hard to see that because there was so much right here that needed to be taken care of. And we still have to integrate daily and take care of our emotions and take care of our thoughts and make sure that we're finding that balance and listening to our intuition. But we've broken through so much that we're headed forward and we can see it. We can see what's coming and it makes sense. If you find yourself considering what could be instead of what is, what steps do you need to take to get there, right? Don't just wait around for that change to happen or for that thing to happen. You have to put in the energy to get it out. You know, it's an input-output system. The full moon in Leo on the February 16th ends off a major transit in Aquarius season, and that moon obviously opposes the sun in Aquarius, so it's Leo, Aquarius, full moon, dealing with the balance between the personal and the impersonal. It's self-expression and ego boost received through pleasure and romance. So again, there's that balance between friendship and romance, as well as the conflict of being highly individual, that Leo energy, and then a team player, which is that Aquarius energy, that community aspect. So express yourself and let things out of your system, but make sure that you're finding that balance between you time and time with others, socializing yourself, making sure that you're being part of the collective that you're a part of, because we're all mirrors and we grow more by being around each other and learning about ourselves from others. Interacting with others will teach you a lot about yourself. It'll teach you a lot of what you do know and a lot of what you thought you knew. So don't be afraid to be around other people, and learn from them. So there's that. More on that moon also when it gets closer. So we're gonna talk about some tarot cards. There are 2 wands, 2 cups, 2 swords, 3 swords. So it's pretty balanced, but it still is focused less on the material world, except for the aspect of like reaching out into your world and connecting with those around you and stuff. But it's more about your emotions, your thoughts, and your passions, your drive, that fire energy, right? We get that Mars, Mercury energy. So let's get started. I will say there's 3 9s in this poll, which is cool. 999. 9s are completion, but it's also that gratitude aspect and that just contentment before one thing ends and another begins. So the 9 of Cups is about being grateful for all that you have created up to this point, all that you have manifested into your life, what you have, the things you've been given. Is being content in the now and being happy with what you have, knowing you have enough, and just all the small things, adding those up to this point where you're just there, you're being, and this is a space where you're reflecting, and appreciating it all. You're enjoying life's pleasures. So finding contentment right where you are, and that doesn't mean you have to stay there. It just means that that space is there for a reason and you're in it for a reason. So finding contentment there, and that will allow you the ability to continue forward. Followed up with the 7 of Swords. If you've been following along, we've pulled this in a lot of the past few videos, like 3 or 4 of them, including this one, have pulled the 7 of Swords, and that is about being strategic. It can be about deception, it can be about betrayal, but it also is about betraying yourself, right? So maybe there's someone in your reality who could be betraying you or could be deceiving you. Maybe you're deceiving yourself or betraying yourself. But it also has a lot to do, in this case, with imposter syndrome. The energy that surrounds it is one that you're lying to yourself, you're deceiving yourself. Maybe you're keeping secrets from yourself in a way, like you're not seeing your full potential and deceiving yourself by telling yourself you're not good enough, you don't have the skills, you're not ready. These are all lies we tell ourselves when we're scared, right? We go to step into the next thing, we reach this area called the challenge zone. Our comfort zone is this space which could turn into a rut very easily, but if we push ourselves into our challenge zone, we feel challenged, we could feel scared, we could be uncomfortable, but that's where that growth takes place, and that's where that blossoming happens, right? I need water. Hydrate or dihydrate. If you have water near you, it has a good time to take a sip. That's your reminder. But yes, so don't allow yourself to fall into those negative self-talk cycles. If you catch yourself there, again, go back and gratitude about yourself. If you're doing this, if your thoughts come up and you're like, I'm not good enough, okay, what have I created that I love in the past year? Maybe you're feeling like you're in a stagnant spot. Well, go back to what you have created or what you have brought forth or the skills you do have. Look at the things that you have to offer instead of looking at what you don't think you really have to offer. Be compassionate with yourself. This is all about finding that emotional stability, but we're moving ahead as we do it, right? We've been sitting with that for so long, and now we're moving forward, because as we move forward, new things come up, new things awaken, we see new aspects of our emotions, and this helps us integrate more and find that emotional stability. So you're intuitive and you're in flow. Listen to your intuition. Don't be afraid to trust yourself and persevere. You might be feeling burnt out, right? 9 of Wands. You're feeling burnt out and you're feeling like maybe you don't know if you can get there. You're like, I might see the end, but I've just been pushing for so long and nothing has happened. It's coming. This is resilience and persistence. Be courageous to stick on the path and follow your dreams. Remember, if the doors are closing, look for another door. Not until you've exhausted all your doors, essentially, should you let go of that dream or that aspiration. That's an important thing for some, for you. Obviously, for some reason, it's still there as a concept that you want to chase, which means it's important to you, which means that there's something there, there's passion. So it's a test of faith. And it's pushing you to persevere. We've seen the Chariot a lot for readings close to this time period too, and the Chariot is forward motion, and that's this calculated, you're just forging ahead, right? And make sure you set boundaries with yourself and for yourself. So if you have a habit of overworking yourself a lot, set yourself a schedule, especially if you work for yourself. We can get caught up in always creating something for others, right? Which is working. So you find yourself working 24/7. So if you're falling into that and you're feeling overwhelmed, give yourself a schedule, like a 9-to-5 job or something. You know what I mean? Whatever works. Extend your hours, whatever works for you, but give yourself those breaks. It's very important. Action, right? There's the Chariot energy, essentially. It's that ambition, action-oriented movements. Swords are thoughts, they're words. It's this fast-thinking, driven energy. This is one of the most action-oriented cards in the deck. You're forging ahead. So it goes in there, you're feeling burnt out. You can be having imposter syndrome, but balancing those emotions and listening to your intuition and being thankful for everything you have right now will help this integrate into this supportive perseverance, and this won't feel so weighty anymore, and you'll have this drive to persevere and forge ahead, and push on. 9 of Swords reversed. So this again is very similar to the 7 of Swords. It's that deceit, it's that inner turmoil, deep-seated fears. You're releasing worry, right? We don't have any more nightmares. The only nightmares is us allowing ourselves to be held back by what hasn't even happened yet, by our fears of what could happen, by our fears of failure, by our fears of not being good enough, not being accepted, not reaching the goals we've set for ourselves. Set small attainable goals and then forge ahead to find them. Don't shut the door. You're forging ahead, but right now you don't want to talk to a lot of people about what you're doing, right? Manifesting in silence is so powerful because even subconsciously people project their doubts, their own self-limiting beliefs or judgments onto what you want to manifest. And if the more we talk about what we're going to do before we do it, or we talk about the little steps we're taking along the way that aren't quite the culmination, the more that doubt can seep into ourselves. And that comes from people's reactions, and not necessarily because they don't believe in you, but because they don't believe in themselves to be able to accomplish a similar task. So that doubt comes out and we feel it. So it's not always conscious. It's not like people are against you, but it's so strong to forge ahead and only have a few trusted individuals that you confide in as you're headed towards your goals and you're setting intentions to reach them. So this is a silent celebration. And it's your personal definition of success. Don't let anyone else define success for you. A reverse 6 of Wands can also speak a little bit about egotism. So just check yourself if you're feeling holier than thou, or also not good enough. Those are all representations of our ego. So find that balance in yourself. Know that you are your biggest competition. You today is your competition with you tomorrow, and that's it, right? Don't look at others for competition, and by manifesting things in private, essentially, nobody else becomes your competition. They can't see you as that, and if it like breaks that back and forth, that energy tie of just being in competition with people. know that as you have successes, there will be people who are like, oh, okay. And it's not a representation of you, it's a representation of them. So if you're dealing with that, don't let anyone else's doubts infiltrate, just show them you can do it, which means they can do it too. That's what it's all about. Support, and like sometimes stepping away from that non-support can be supportive, because then you just show them, hey, if someone's not supporting you, just step away a little bit and show them it can be done. And then that shows them that it can be done. And then it's this chain. So yeah, the devil reverse is Aquarius season. Releasing those things that don't serve us, releasing self-limiting beliefs, non-limiting, they are limiting, self-limiting beliefs, and just stepping away from those chains. We have so many things that hold us back. We hold ourselves in a place where a lot of times we fight with ourselves about stuff, and like releasing vices or doing something different, or like not good enough. And this is important for you to detach from that, release those chains, right? It's a lot about like releasing addictions, but it's not just substances. We can be addicted to healing, let's say, right? So we look at things so different. We think of addiction and we think of like drugs and alcohol, right? Or sex, but like you can be addicted to feeling like you always have to heal. You're always perpetually healing, and I'm not healed yet. I can't wait till I'm healed. I just have to heal this. I just have to heal. Well, yeah, we're all healing every day, right? We push ourselves to a challenge zone, we grow, we heal, but you'll never reach like full healing. Enlightenment, true enlightenment, is passing from this realm, this physical realm. So don't hold yourself in a space where you're continuously healing, or you're reliant on, that as an excuse or reason, for things. It's releasing the need to do anything other than just be here and dream and envision and then manifest that stuff, right? Everything else holds us in chains, holds the bondage, right? So we're releasing that, and we're exploring those thoughts, right? Exploring dark thoughts is part of this card, and that can seem scary, but it goes with that finding emotional balance. And to be able to forge ahead, you have to be able to sit with those things. If we're going to find contentment in anything, then you have to be able to hang out with all of these feelings, like the imposter syndrome and the self-limiting beliefs and the doubts and the fears, and that feeling burdened by what may be happening, your circumstances, allowing things to hold you in this space of negativity, and I can't wait until this is done, or I can't wait till this happens, or if only that, or I need to do more of or less of. It's a dance, right? It's a dance. It's not a light switch, but the emphasis here is to allow yourself to be so present that you become aware of the thoughts and the beliefs that are holding you back, and then you release those. And that's changing the dialogue. It's rescripting how you talk to yourself, how you talk about yourself, how you think about yourself, the energies you allow in your space, the boundaries you don't set that you need to, right? Those that just take and aren't giving. Make sure that you are setting yourself up for success, and that's so important. So this is a tarot side. We're gonna talk about the oracle side. The Awaken Your Wisdom one gave us 3, and it's unseen, ceremony, and light heart. And they all really go together, because the unseen is reminding you like there's so much that helps us and supports us and moves us through life. We are all one big giant organism working together, right? If you think about it, if you look at the world, just the world, because you can go out and if you look at little cells and stuff, and then you look at the world and all the little people and the animals and the bits and the stuff, and it's like a big old cell, and then you can go out bigger and it's like the same thing, and then you get down smaller, it's all like the same thing, and we all support each other, and we all play supporting roles in this makeup of this universe that we live in. So there's unseen forces at work, physical, tangible, and the energetic, non-tangible forces that are here carrying you through. And it's really important to celebrate life. And it, you know, even if it's just little rituals you do for yourself that supports this ceremony, make life a ceremony. You know, find rituals in your everyday life. You know, you get up, brush your teeth, get dressed, maybe in a different order, you take a shower, you go to the bathroom, all these things. Be so present, like gratitude for each tooth, or, you know, think about someone on each tooth, or whatever it is, but be so present in all the little things you're doing, so that the mundane, you know, if your life is feeling mundane, it won't, because there's celebration in every aspect of it. And have fun, be lighthearted, right? Play around in nature, play around in your mind, hang out with your friends, giggle, get silly, stop taking life so seriously. Speaking to myself too, we have a habit of doing that. We as humans, we have a rush culture. We're always rushing around to accomplish stuff. We're always rushing around to do things, to get to work, to get home, to get to school, to get to soccer practice, to do all the things. And all that's great. It's good to fill our lives with things and do things that are super dope. But in all of that, it becomes more of a job than an existence, an aware existence. And so allowing yourself to laugh, like, I got really frustrated today because my video went away, but you know what? This one's better. And I just laugh about it because it happens, right? It's literally not the first time, and it probably won't be the last, but we're going to laugh about it. And in that, I mean, we talked about the Six of Wands reversed having a little bit to do with egotism. And we have an oracle card that tells us to drop the fucking ego, because vulnerability is hot as fuck. And that goes really well with that. It's sometimes we let our egos hold us back because we think things need to be a certain way, or we need to be a certain way, or other people need to be a certain way. And instead, we should just be authentic and be vulnerable and not be afraid to share our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings. And if someone doesn't like that, then they're not supposed to be close, right? If just you being yourself unsettles someone else, okay. Not everyone's gonna like you. But being authentic and just vulnerable in a way that's not attached to ego will really show you who your tribe is, who your people are. It's true. And figure shit out on your own. We talked about this a little bit, but it's that whole have your community, build that tribe that you trust. But ultimately, each and every one of us is accountable for our own problems, our own processes, things we're dealing with. Is there our own each individual journeys. And so we support each other and we're there for each other, but we're each processing through and working through and finding our own solutions, right? There's a difference between support and enablement. Enablement is when you just do things for someone all the time, or someone does things for you all the time, and then you can't figure out how to process through it, work through it on your own. Do that and lean on the people around you to support you. There's that balance. It's very important. And know that you're wise. The moose is wisdom. And he says, let your head and mind reach the stars. Keep your feet grounded on the earth. Listen to ancient wisdom in your soul. Ancestors speak through you. You know much. Moose are horse cows. Moose are slow and steady. They're big, chilling. Sometimes they're running. But they're just got this energy about them. These big old racks. You just carry them around. They're like their antennas. Do. You know, they're pretty chill. They're relatively solitary, but it's that deep ancient energy. And so tap into your wisdom. It's a transformative time, so it feels chaotic. Remember, the beginning of the astrological year is Aries season, so that is in a couple months. So if you're not feeling like your year is off to a good start, that's okay. It's never, don't worry about linear time. Don't wait till next year because this year didn't start out the way you wanted it to. You have time to get it all together and start forging ahead. This year is all about forging ahead. This month is about setting things into motion, tear down, build up, solidify. 2022 is a year. It's a good year. It's year 6 and things are happening. So there it is. Take it, integrate it, watch it again if you have to. And keep staying tuned because the energies all mingle in with each other and one energetic transit leads to the next. So we're on this journey together. Let's do it. I'm so glad you guys were here today. I hope that you got some wisdom, some clarity on your journey. Go ahead and subscribe so that you get notified for every new video, at least bi-weekly, new and full moons, and then once a month with the zodiac. And if Mercury goes retrograde, we'll talk about that. Also, go ahead and check out my Patreon. The link is in the description. Go ahead and join, check out the tiers, see what's up. You can go from anywhere from just supporting me in the work I do to getting personalized reads once a month for a very good deal. So definitely check that out. I think you'll love it. I love it. I love doing it. I love doing this with you guys. And just stay tuned. The cards, if you're interested in those, they will be in the description, and my Instagram and my TikTok. So you can hit me up everywhere. Again, I'm glad you were here. Take this and go create. Think forward. Doing amazing.